If not now, then when? Put your hands together for caretaker chairman. He has said it. More women means more participation, more winners, and a more inclusive, more progressive strategy for political participation and for political positions. Celebrating all of this goodwill, he has stated it here today. On behalf of His Excellency, Mr. President, you will get, as a woman of APC representation, generous support. Generous support is more support in the right direction. And with the right women coming together, the right voice, the right message at the right time. This is the APC Women's Congress 2022, and it has never been like this before. Put your hands together and make it shout out loud, APC! And let's make it an inclusive applause. An inclusive applause, and also, as we said, one voice. One voice. With that expression of one voice, for the goodwill messages, I would like to invite for the very first by Their Excellencies, the Executive Governors here present, please let me welcome His Excellency Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State. Please let's welcome him as he comes up and gives us his goodwill message today as not just our Chairman Governors Forum, but our Chairman of our APC Women and our gubernatorial expressions. Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Mrs. Joel Taylor, Insherio Ekitikete, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Those are my proud sisters from Ekiti, so I'm sure you're not surprised. Your Excellency, the chairman of our great party, the chairman of the CACPC, my brother, Maimala Boni, governor of Yobe State, and other members of the Caretaker Extraordinary and Convention Planning Committee, my own chairman, the chairman of the All Progressive Governors Forum, the Progressive Governors Forum, Atiku Bagudu, governor of Kebbi State. And my brother, the man we call the coordinating chairman, the governor of Jigawa State, His Excellency Governor Badaru Abubakar, MON, MNI. Excellencies, our First Ladies from various states here present, Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers of Women Affairs, my sister Dame Pauline Talen, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Honorable Minister Zainab Ahmed, and my sister, the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Social Development, and Disaster Management. Other senior government functionaries and party functionaries here present. Our great women from all over the country. I'm sorry I say the Honorable Minister of State for Health, who I've also noticed are here with us. The Honorable Minister, Dr. Olorinimbe Mamora. No women. No women. Let me start by commending immensely the work of our chairman, the chief host of this august convention of our women for making today possible. And let me also express gratitude to the women's representative on the caretaker committee, Stella Okotete, who has done a yeoman's job with the planning committee of this conference. I would also like to specially thank my brother, since I will be retiring very soon into their committee. I can see Governor Kashim Shettima here. I can also see Governor Tanko Almakura, so that they treat me well when I become a former governor. I want to recognize them, and the former speaker who is here with us, Right Honorable Dimeji Bankole. I was saying that without our women, we have no future. Without our women, we actually also have no present. And there can also be no past that is recognizable without our women. And as a progressive party dedicated to improving the social conditions of our people, we have a duty, indeed a responsibility, to continue to improve on the quality of support and solidarity that we give the women of our country. And when we do this, we're not doing our women a favor. We're actually doing ourselves a duty, because it makes economic sense. And anyone who has had the privilege of working with women at close range, you will discover that they are your best armor bearers. And they are also the best delivery agents. I have seen it at close quarters. I work with women. My women commissioners are my best commissioners. I also work with women in President Buhari's cabinet. And I can attest to the commitment, the competence, the compassion, and the hard work that they put in to ensuring that we deliver on the promises we've made to our people. I have no doubt that this conference will give us enough to chew on. In the Governor's Forum, we are all he for she. That is why in June last year, on June 10 last year at the Nigerian Governors Forum, we declared a state of emergency against gender-based violence all over Nigeria. At the time we did that, there were only 14 states in our country that had signed up, that is, that have enacted laws against gender and sexual-based violence, particularly the VAP Act. But as I speak before you today, 30 states have signed up to the VAP Act in Nigeria. And I can assure you that the remaining 6 states are working assiduously to also sign up on it. Of course, you will tell me that enacting laws is one thing. Actually enforcing law is what women need. And I wouldn't bat an eyelid in agreeing with you that that is correct. But it's a journey of 1,000 years. We want to shorten that journey, but it must start with a single step. And I must thank our wives, the first ladies of our various states, under the leadership of the First Lady of our country, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, who have consistently nudged us to live up to our promises to our women, to ensure that we do all within our powers and all that is conferred on us in the Constitution of Nigeria to give a sense of self-worth to our women. And I would like to just end on a note of request. We're going into our convention I'm sure that our chairman at an appropriate time will let us know the date of that convention in February. I would like to plead with the chairman that we should make this a policy convention. A policy convention where we can specifically take one by one all those aspects of life that our people want to know, what we have done in the last 6 years, what we're still going to do in the next roughly 17 months left to our government, and how we will consolidate on that by ensuring that we elect another All Progressives Congress president in 2023. I know that this is something that Mr. Chairman and the Caretaker Committee is interested in, and we in the All Progressive Congress Governors Forum, the PGF, will be happy to work with them in order to ensure that that convention that is coming in February is not just a convention to elect officers of the party, but also a policy convention to examine where we are, where we've come from, and where we're headed. Oh, I'm told that the chairman has already announced February 26th as the day of convention. So in another roughly 5 weeks, let's get ready for that policy convention. And in order to build and prepare for that, I hope this conference will come up with a charter of demands that would come to that policy convention on issues that are germane to our women. I know that we have covered a lot of ground, but we still have a lot of grounds to cover. We have not done enough for our women. We can do a lot more than what we have done, both in terms of representation of women in offices, but also in terms of service delivery to our women across the length and breadth of Nigeria. But we have the strength, we have the capacity, we have the energy, we have the commitment, and we have the compassion to ensure that we deliver to our women. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Please let us put our hands together in a round of applause. Appreciate, and let us have a shout out for His Excellency. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ekiti State, has said it like we need to say it and hear it. APC, it says February 26th, the women should bring their charter, a charter that will establish through their energy, compassion, and commitment, that which will truly represent change on all levels. More women is more participation. And with that, APC women, one voice. APC women, next level. No woman, no nation, and it takes a woman to win an election. Next election, where is the woman who will make us win? Whoever you are, let me hear you say APC. Progress. And for every woman, APC women, one voice. That is a statement, and that is a declaration. His Excellency said, there is no present without a woman. There is no past without a woman. I would like to extend it by saying, and there is no future without the girl child. Let's put our hands together once again and celebrate, appreciate the message. I'm going to be inviting His Excellency, the Chairman of the Progressive Governors, His Excellency Atiku Bagudu, for his own goodwill right now. Thank you. Please, a round of applause. Please let us welcome women of Kebbi. Are you here? Celebrate and receive His Excellency, your progressive #1 governor. Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of Liberia, Vice President Taylor, Your Excellencies, the Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Governor Kayode Fayemi, the chairman of the National Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Governor Mai Malabuni of Yobe State, my brother, Governor Abubakar Badaru of Jigawa State, and other members of the National Caretaker Committee, my brother, the Governor of Niger State, Governor Abu Bello, distinguished senators, particularly my brother, Senator Kashim Shettima, Senator Tanko Al-Makura. I know there are many other members. Please forgive me if I miss. Their excellencies, the ministers, our excellencies, the first ladies of the different states and wife of governors, the former speakers that are here, former Speaker Patricia Ete, former Speaker Oladimeji Bankole, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. And having to speak after both Governor Fayemi and the National Caretaker Chairman who have spoken about our party and women, I think one can only add a few things. And one of those is to acknowledge that to even debate equality between men and women is an abomination, because scriptures tell us that the second person that was created after Adam was Eve. And the scriptures have populated us with women who achieve and men who achieve. And that's foundational. In fact, for those of us of the Muslim faith, there is a very often cited saying of the Prophet that someone once asked him, who should I first honor, my mother or my father? And he said, your mother. And the gentleman asked again, and the Prophet repeated, your mother. And he asked again, and the Prophet repeated, your mother. And he asked again, and the gentleman now was told by the Prophet, your father. So this set the tone, and I'm sure it's all in the Abrahamic faith, Christianity, Judaism. There is reverence and for this equality and acknowledgement that, as the Governor of Fayemi say, without women, there's no nation. Without women, there's no development. So, but the challenge is, how do we ensure that as societies evolve, as societies change, women who face more Herculean challenges are given the pride of place. Attention is paid to ensure that they progress. A lot of us went to primary school or secondary school or universities with women who are much, much more brilliant and smarter than us. But somehow they end up not doing very well as men in maybe national life or in business life, because they face barriers that ought to be appreciated and dealt with. And that is, I believe, the departure point, because the APC, under the able leadership of our party leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, have shown by example the effort to include, promote, and show that our women are as good as anybody else. As they are good as men, they are good as women anywhere else. Today, we have women in Nigeria playing roles in the international stage. President Muhammadu Buhari fought to ensure that Amina Mohammed is where she is today, a Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. President Muhammadu Buhari fought and ensured that Ngozi Iweala is today the Director General of the World Trade Organization. President Muhammadu Buhari appointed ministers, many women ministers in his government, including Kemi Adeosun and now Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed, who are in charge of our kitty. just 2 weeks ago, President Muhammadu Buhari appointed a woman, Senator Margaret Okadibo, to chair the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation.
Who are announcing the arrival of Her Excellency. Everybody, let's put our hands together. The First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please let us appreciate and welcome Her Excellency, Dr. Aisha Buhari. The future is assured. The future is present. She's here with us. And the distinguished, eminent presence of Her Excellency here today, Dr. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, just as we're hearing from His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, is a testament of women in position of impact and influence. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, now finishing his goodwill address. Thank you.
I recognize Her Excellency, the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the First Lady of the Federal Republic, our mother of the nation, Hajia Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, and the wife of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Dolapo Osi Baju. And I was just speaking about how President Muhammadu Buhari have pushed women to play a role both internationally and nationally. And I mentioned both Amina Mohammed, Ngozi Iweala, and in Nigeria, I've mentioned about the several ministers who are playing a very prominent role in our national life. In fact, our kitty manager, the very able Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed, who took over, succeeded another very able woman, Kemi Adioshun, as well as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, my sister Sadia, Minister of Women Affairs, and my other sister, Minister of the FCT, and several other women who have participated in this government as ministers. Beyond ministers, President Muhammadu Buhari have shown confidence by appointing women in other unusual or for the first time positions of power for the first time. When Mr. President appointed Hadiza Bala Usman to be managing director of the Nigerian Port Authority, is the first, both for a woman and a very young woman for that matter. And Mr. President deserves commendation. The same thing with the Central Bank. Mr. President appointed a very young woman as a deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Mr. President appointed a sister of mine, Fatima Shenkafi, as the executive secretary of the National Medium and Small Scale, the Mining Solid Minerals Development Fund, and in fact charge her with the responsibility of finding enough gold to make the mining sector compete with the NMPC, and so on and so forth. And it's happening in different states, women councillors, women ministers, women advisors, women participating in government. And all this couldn't have been possible without party foundation, which Mr. President Buhari has been promoting. Equally, his wife, Her Excellency Aisha Buhari, has boldly and courageously spoken in favor of women inclusion in Nigeria, and she has led by example, and we thank her. In governmental programs, and I think this is important for this conference to reflect on, millions of women have been included by programs that have been initiated and executed by this government. But millions more need to be included, because the challenge is not even about inclusion, it's to include quick enough. So the conference should reflect on what we can do to take the commitment of Mr. President take commitment of his wife, Her Excellency, and ensure that we fund programs, more programs that will further mobilize more women into the economic liberation that has been started by the revolution of this government. We are very, very grateful that the member representing women in the National Caretaker, very able Honorable Stella Okotiti, who is equally an appointee of Mr. President in NEXIM, have yet again proved capacity by organizing this conference today. I was having a discussion with the Minister of Women Affairs, and I told her that this conference might as well reflect, and we are lucky that the chairman of the National Caretaker Committee is here or is being represented, that the quickest way to include more women in political party offices is to ensure that both at the national headquarters of the APC, at the respective state party offices and ward party offices, where in most cases you find that all the directors and administrative organs of the party are men. We can demand that at all levels we ensure that before the year runs out, at least 30% of those are women. This is not elected positions, these are administrative positions, and they will create the opportunity for more women to interact in an organized manner with the political office and ensure that women are included in political office more, which will support the foundation for them having to be elected. Okay. We need them more, and the progress that we have recorded will be cemented. In Kebbi State, I believe we have done well. We have elected women councillors. We have had a woman who was the chairman of a local government, and people who appreciate that conservatism in our state must be acknowledged how important is that. Equally and lastly, I know how Mr. President took personal interest, encouraged by Her Excellency, the wife of the President, First Lady of the Federal Republic, our mother, to campaign for Her Excellency Dr. Zainab Bagudu to be a member of the Union for International Cancer Control, which was quite successful. So this is as far as Mr. President and this administration has been willing to go to support the progress of women. And so on behalf of all the governors of the Progressive Congress, of the forum, I congratulate the party and the Honorable Stella Oketete and the organizing team, and most especially Her Excellency, our mother, and the wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Osibajo. I believe the Vice President of Liberia has been invited and she graciously accepted to send a lesson to us that Nigerian women expect more. They want Vice President, and for Liberia that has set the pace in electing former President Ellen Sirleaf Johnson, maybe is also a bigger warning that the Nigerian women are ready to take on and ensure that Nigeria gives pride of place. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Please let us appreciate and acknowledge with a round of applause His Excellency, the Chairman of Progressive Governors, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, His Excellency, Executive Governor Atiku Bagudu. Thank you so much, sir. And yes, we have heard it loud and clear, even as he says that they are hearing it. Executive, he for she's, the executive governors speaking very clearly and profiling not just hope, but commitment for the woman in political space, particularly progressive action. Having heard that now, he has stated 30% of administrative positions for women to be part of organizing a new structure of women inclusion in political participation and processes of emerging governance. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. While seated, you know they came in. Once again, everybody put your hands together and help me appreciate and welcome Their Excellencies, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Big Mommy Aishat Buhari, and Her Excellency, wife of the Vice President, Her Excellency, Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo. Please, a round of applause for our mothers. APC women, one voice, and one voice together, strategizing for progressive action. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. You are present. Her Excellency, the Vice President of Liberia, and her anthem strain has already established for us what is the protocol of the internationalization of this conference, particularly for the position of the woman of Nigeria as a woman of global leadership for Africa and in the space of United Nations. I'd like to invite very quickly at this point, respectfully, I want to ask just for a 3-minute goodwill, His Excellency, Executive Governor Jigawa State, His Excellency Abubakar Badaru. Please, let's welcome him. Women of Jigawa, are you here? Are you sure you're here? Thank you.
The slogan is yes, we can.
Okay.
Women, oh,
Yes, we can.
yes, we can. Women, oh. No, I didn't hear. It looks like you can't. Women, oh. Thank you. I'm sure you can. Our mother, the mother of the nation, the wife of our president, Mama Aisha Muhammad Buhari, the wife of the vice president, Dolapo Osinbajo, the vice president of Liberia, Your Excellencies, honorable ministers, the great women here, it is indeed great. I haven't seen really women convention of this magnitude in our party. So congratulations. The chairman of our caretaker committee of our great party, as well as the chairman of Progressive Governors Forum and the chairman of Governors Forum have spoken. And I agree with them absolutely. But the little addition I will do is little advice that the way I see you here, I became really, really very happy with the cooperation, the network, and the organization. So if you continue in this direction, I'm sure you will retire us all in a very short, no distance future. So continue to organize, continue to plan, and continue to be our brothers' keepers. The sky will be your limit. Women, oh! Women, oh! Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Please, a round of applause for His Excellency Abubakar Badaru, Executive Governor, Jigawa State. Women, oh! Yes, we can. Women, oh, yes, we can. I'd like now to invite to come up speedily. This is a fast track and one that by executive commission positions Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in a position that ordinarily we will hold her to come in as a final intervention, but for reasons of national, state, and protocol. Today, protocol shifts. And women know, yes, we can. Receive Her Excellency, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari.
Nigeria women, great Nigeria women. The governor of Jigawa has just said, women, oh, I think we are great women, aren't we? Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you. Your Excellency, Vice President of Liberia, Your Excellency, the wife of the Vice President, the governors, the National Woman Leader of APC, the ministers here present, party members or party stalwarts, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocol duly observed. Your Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Joel Howard Taylor, the people of Nigeria are happy to have you in our country at this important occasion. Your effort in empowering African women is highly commendable, and I'm sure it is the same desire to advance the cause of African women. African woman has that brought you here together today. There is no doubt that with women leaders like you, the future is bright for the African woman and our continent. I thank you for obliging to be here and appreciate your role as a model for younger generation of women of Africa. Certainly one of the few female vice presidents in Africa. You have set a lead in promoting women development. To all leaders and members of our great party, the All Progressive Congress, this landmark gathering will go down in history as a major turning point in our effort to establish APC as a unique party with utmost dedication to the empowerment of women in Nigeria. I consider it not only an honor to be part of this historic event, but also a call to duty. This is the first time the National Women's Conference of the APC is being held to establish our commitment to strengthen the position of women in matters of national importance, especially in increasing the visibility of women, positioning women for future political offices, and encouraging them to inspire more towards the progress of our great party. Since 2015, I have had the privilege of engaging Nigerian women across the entire country. My conviction is that Nigeria's future is entirely dependent on actualizing the potentials of our women. It is no mere coincidence that countries that have grown strong, prosperous, and influential to have prioritized women participation in national building. I therefore wish to call upon the APC to double its efforts promoting women. This, I believe, should serve as one of the objectives of this conference. As Nigeria heads towards another election, we must go beyond paying lip service to putting women in vital offices within our party and the government. We must put in place workable strategies to ensure that this actually happens. Charity begins at home. And so the APC must start by ensuring that women occupy strategic offices within the party and the most strategic roles in government. When this happens, it will become a lot easier for us to empower the Nigerian women for the much needed leadership politically and economically. There is no doubt that future indeed looks bright as APC continues to lead our country. Women who have long been ignored and denied opportunities are now finding their voices gradually. This is a good omen for Nigeria because when women shine, society shines. I think as women have gathered here today, We have been invited by the national woman leader, and women are here cut across the country to answer the call. The governors are here, the ministers are here. The few women that are opportune to be ministers are here. The few women that are opportune to head government agencies and parastatals are here. Those that are opportune to be as board members are here. APC has done so much. We feel that they have done so much, but we still need a little bit more, and still more needs to be done. As the governors are here today, before we round up, we would like to know how many percentage are going to be given women in order to tally with the 35 affirmative action. The governor of Kebbi has said a lot. We thank him so much for his long explanation, but we need more in Kebbi State. We need more women. We need more women in decision-making bodies, from local government, state, up to federal level. And the governors are here, the ball is in their hands. I think if we did not get 35 affirmative action that we desired or that we are entitled to, we need to hold the governors responsible. In conclusion, I call upon the Nigerian women to continue the struggle by showing greater interest, commitment, and unity in the decision-making process of this country. Our vintage point lies on our shared numerical strength. While wishing us a successful conference, I declare and unveil the Women Academic mobile app. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Yes, indeed. Let us thank her so much. And right now on the screens, we will have the presentation of the unveiling of the Progressive Women Academy mobile app. Her Excellency,
Introducing
right now being
Progressive
joined.
Women Academy, PWA. We aim to train over 20 million women in 2 years. Wow, the future is truly female. You can download the PWA app from Play Store and the App Store. First, go to Play Store and the App Store and search for the Progressive Women Academy app, then install. After downloading, click on Open to launch the app. Swipe the welcome page to reveal the messages, then begin. Click on Sign Up to register. How to register? Input your details as requested, agree with the terms and conditions, then sign up. Hooray! You are all signed up. Select any course and start learning. Now enjoy.
A round of applause. Let us appreciate. This is technology and innovation with women in national political participation. This is a space Her Excellency Dr. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, our First Lady, has declared it, unveiled, and there it is, an app. Yes, please, we'd like to respectfully ask for Her Excellency, the wife of the Vice President, to join, as well as Her Excellency, the Vice President of Liberia, to please join their Excellencies upstage. Please, let's put our hands together and welcome Her Excellency, our distinguished keynote speaker. We shall be having a keynote in the next few moments, but right now, it's all about the First Lady's opening declaration and unveiling of the Progressive Women Academy mobile app.
Sanitizer. Yeah. Honorable Minister, please don't block me. You are blocking them.
In the name of God, and to God be the glory. We are unveiling this mobile app for the benefit of Nigerian women and youths.
A round of applause. The Progressive Women Academy, training 20 million women in the next 2 years. Audacious, but completely progressive. And this is what the power of innovation and technology achieves.
A lot of times when people hear the word leadership, it feels as though it's something reserved for the extraordinary kind of people. Let me be the first to tell you today that you do not need a title to become a leader. Wherever you are right now, you are a leader. And I want you to say that to yourself. I am a leader.
Cashew nut cannot be plucked off the tree. So because the cashew nut looks ripe on the tree, it's actually a bad agricultural practice in cashew to pluck the nuts off the tree or to shake the tree. What happens typically is when the cashew fruit is ripe, it drops on the floor and then it is picked up by the farmer.
I'd like to request Miriam Frost, please. Program Officer, West Africa, Miriam Frost from
Mama,
the
how you doing now?
International Republican Institute.
I get one Ankara I want to show you. If you do WhatsApp, I can send them to you.
Miriam Frost.
Now the dress I want me to go village you. At least in 3 days time, you fit do one.
Hey, that's still Lolita. I know they do WhatsApp. What's in study for internet?
Stories are all we've got. If not everything we know comes from a story. Before you get to places around the world, the first thing you heard was the story that made you look forward to going to those places. It is time for you to be seen and heard. Do you know? It doesn't matter how amazing you are. It doesn't matter what business you're doing. It doesn't matter what your dreams are. If no one hears or sees you, it is as good as you not existing in the first place. And today we're about to let you know that the secret is out.
We will continue with the media profiling, but right now, Miriam Frost of the International Republican Institute. Thank you.
Her Excellency Dr. Aisha Buhari, First Lady of Nigeria. Her Excellency Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, wife of the Vice President of Nigeria. Her Excellency Dr. Jewel Taylor, Vice President of Liberia. His Excellency May Malabuni, APC Chairman and Governor of Yobe State. Governors, Senators, House of Representative members, and ministers. Honorable Stella Okotete, National Women Representative of the APC. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Miriam Frost. I'm a program officer with IRI, the International Republican Institute, and I work on our democracy and governance programs in West Africa. I'm so glad to be with you here today to support this conference, and I share greetings as well on behalf of my colleagues in Washington, D.C. IRI has been working in Nigeria since 1999, supporting local actors to improve political processes, build consensus on democratic reforms, and promote the inclusion of marginalized groups. Recognizing the strength and influence of political parties within Nigeria's governance structure, IRI works directly with parties toward these objectives. This has been particularly important for our work on women's inclusion, as we know that increased opportunities for women's participation in political parties will contribute to further achievements for women in Nigerian political and governance processes. We are very grateful for our partnership with Honorable Stella, who has been especially receptive to our work and whose passion and enthusiasm for women's political participation inspires us to do even more. Working with Honorable Stella, we have been able to put together proposals for amendments to the APC Constitution, develop policy for the Office of the Woman Leader, and increase communication between women leaders at the national and state levels, among many other accomplishments. The success of these accomplishments was seen at the 2021 party congresses, where more women were elected to party positions at the ward, local government, and state levels. We aspire to replicate this success and further strengthen women's representation at the upcoming APC National Convention. And the discussions and decisions at this conference will be vital to laying the foundation for this success. With your support at the APC National Women's Conference, we hope to unify the voices of women in the APC, call for increased representation of women in the APC national leadership, and advocate for an increased number of women elected in the 2023 elections. IRI will continue to support women party members and leaders as you work toward these goals, and we look forward to seeing what you will achieve. I want to congratulate women in the APC on the hosting of this conference and the APC leadership for expanding opportunities for marginalized groups. I wish a successful deliberation in the conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The International Institute, Republican Institute. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, Miriam Frost. And right now, we'll be going directly to the keynote. And the keynote to be taken. Thank you very much. Thank you. And right now, we'd like to invite for the keynote address, Her Excellency, the Vice President of Liberia, Her Excellency Chief Dr. Jewel Taylor. We'd like to invite her to please, even as she comes up, let us receive her. Women, political leaders, leveraging networks to transform Nigeria. Thank you.
Permit me to extend honors to His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the standard bearer of the APC, and a he for she champion indeed. Can we clap for His Excellency the President, please, who have brought women on board in the mainstream at the executive level. And Her Excellency, Madam Aisha Buhari, the First Lady of the Federal Republic and our gracious host, His Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President of the Republic of Nigeria, and his beautiful wife, His Excellency Mai Malaboni, the National APC Chairman, other excellencies, state governors, senators, representatives of federal and state legislatures, Her Excellency Dr. Haja Ramatu Tijani Aliyah, Minister of State, and our deputy host, and the Honorable Stella Oketiti, officials and members of the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee and the Women's Representation, all of our women across the 36 states of Nigeria, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, all other protocols duly observed. Let me begin by extending my deepest gratitude to God, maker of heaven and earth, by whose mercies and grace my delegation and I, coming all the way from Liberia, landed here safely and have had a very, very, very excellent time so far. My appreciation also goes to His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, the President and the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the leadership, officials and members of the APC, for allowing the APC Women's Congress to extend me an invitation to be here with you today. I also want to be grateful to His Excellency the Vice President, a brother and a friend for many years, for joining me yesterday as I celebrated my birthday here in the beautiful city of Abuja. I was indeed blessed by his show of genuine love that he shows wherever he goes. I also want to thank Her Excellency the First Lady, Dr. Aisha Buhari, for the warm courtesies accorded me since I've arrived here, and for sending me some most beautiful gifts that I received last night in celebration of my birthday. To the strong women of the National Progressive Women's Congress, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart for allowing someone to come out of your sector where you have so many brilliant and exceptional women to come and add my voice to what is happening here in Nigeria. Thank you for the honor received. I must also say thank you to Her Excellency Hajia Ramatu Tijani Aliyah, Minister of State, for being a gracious deputy host to Her Excellency the First Lady during my stay. My delegation and I are very, very, very pleased. Thank you so much. Excellencies, our distinguished chairman, leaders and officials of the APC, the leaders and officials of the All Progressive Women's Congress, all of the women of the APC seated in this hall, your theme for today's conference, One Voice, Women Uniting for Progress, is timely. For this assignment that I have been given to speak to you today, I do not take lightly, especially when I consider the fact that today's event indicates a very brand new paradigm shift in the vision and governance of political parties, and especially the APC. Today's event may seem simple to you, but I know it is a break in the tradition, which means the APC that has already begun to support women are prepared to go to the next level. Can we clap for the APC? It is clear that whatever happens here in Nigeria as the big brother for West Africa spreads everywhere else. As you continue to set the pace for national life, for examples in ECOWAS, I thank you for this bold and visionary chapter in your history. Permit me at this juncture to speak to the subject of my theme, women political leaders leveraging their networks to transform Nigeria. I hope at the end of my presentation, not only the APC women's agenda, but the entire party's agenda and strategies for 2023 elections will include some of what I would say. I was happy to hear some of the party leaders already alluding to this fact. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today, this conference has forged a bold new pathway forward. And it opens our eyes to the available opportunities, enabling the APC to take a retrospective look at what has happened in the past, what is happening today, and what shall happen tomorrow. It is exciting as I look from the outside at this bold new pathway. As you take cognizance of the gaps in previous plans, consider the inclusiveness of all segments of society, including women and youth. I believe some of you may be wondering, especially our male colleagues, what is this conference all about? What are the women up to? What more do they want? And maybe should we worry about the path they are taking? Let me assuage the minds of our male colleagues that these and many other questions may not be as important as the intent to which this conference has been organized. The fact that after all consultations were concluded, the simple decision to hold this Congress has indeed become a new formula. This is now the new normal for political parties, and anyone who will not converge their young people and their women together to hear from them are already defeated. So we want to clap for the APC for this new trajectory. Previously, the norm would be that the leadership will hold a general assembly dominated by the political patriarchy of our countries, most times not giving thought to what the women and the young people want. They would assume year after year that the women and the young people would just come along because they would have set the framework. I believe today is indeed a new day and a new political dispensation in our lifetime. But I want to thank the APC chairman and all of the leaders that this first step is indeed a winning strategy at all levels. So you are already 50% ahead. As I consider the deep implications of this two-day summit, permit me to bring to your consciousness the enormity of the political shift which is taking place today. The first issue is why a women's conference? Because the statistics prove that females make up 49.3% of the population. That means women make up about 125 million people across Nigeria. That indeed is a large number. If the APC has registered voters or registered party members of 41 million, then you have another 65 or 70 million who can become a part of this great political work. There is work to be done. But if the political party, that is the APC, intends to retain its political power, the 50% of your population that is female must be fully engaged. And not like they were in the past, becoming women wing chairs, becoming mobilizers at the bottom level, and ensuring that we secure the votes. To our honorable chairman, officials and members of the APC, the powerful women of the All Progressive Women's Congress, this is a new day. Your point in gathering is one voice. Is there indeed a need for a singular voice? I say yes, there is. For there is a perception at every level that women are not united and they are incapable of speaking with one voice. Today has proven that this is not necessarily so. There is an urgent need for the recalibration at the party level, which begins today, to bring all women and young people under one umbrella, for one strong voice that may translate into one strong push for 2023. This dream of uniting our women is a possibility, as Stella and the others have proven to you today. How then can we create a level playing field so that all of our hopes and aspirations are indeed met under the political party framework? Fortunately, there is a Congress being held by the party sometime in February. I want to raise my voice and add to yours that women can again establish and leverage networks for transformation. We cannot ignore that valuable networks that are maintained, that are encouraged, that are inclusive is a formula for a win. This is the true art of politics. And I know you will be aware, because you've won an election and you're hopefully poised to win the third one, that there are simple rules for networking. Be clear about what you want. Take your conversations to the grassroots and to the people. Maintain tight control of the processes. Go beyond your normal circle of partisans. There are many partisans out there who want to be a part but have not yet been approached. Identify valuable connections and connectors. There are grassroots people that are able to connect communities and states beyond the normal barriers. They must be identified and brought on board. Please never be afraid to ask for help. However, there is one rule: do not reciprocate as a means of repayment for the goodwill that people give you. Most people think it is an affront to them, because when they join you with their hearts and their hands, they don't want a reciprocal act. For indeed, you cannot really pay for the work that is done during the political party process to bring political parties to bear. You must always stay connected to those who have helped you reach this far. Never forget those who believed in your dreams and helped to make them come true. And the list for why you should have a successful network could go on and on and on. But as an experienced political party, I know that these are simple things that the women have already grasped. I'm sure that as you negotiate and discuss and come up with a framework for the 2022 elections, these will be seriously taken under consideration. So allow me to step away for a little bit and just speak a few critical truths to power before I take my seat. I want to speak firstly to the leadership of the APC. As we stand in this time and season, the world has changed before our very eyes. And the perspective on every single thing has changed. COVID-19 and the pandemic has forced upon us a new world. Those who hold the power of the votes across the continent are in two categories: women and youth. And so as you look at the perspectives of how you go forward and your mode of operation going towards 2023, it must be radically different. The end goal is that the APC wants desperately to change the normal scenario of a ruling party having two terms and then the electorate switching power to the other side. It is your hope, I believe, to win the 2023 elections and to hold power for the next 8 years. Is that right? If you want that, as strongly as I believe that you do, then the rules which undergird political systems and orders must change drastically. I heard our fathers of the political patrimony talk about the fact that there are women in the executive branch. There are women in the local wards. There are women in some of the political party structures. But those numbers are too small and they are not enough. Therefore, the new vision, strategies, and policies must reflect the dreams and the hopes and aspirations of the women that make up 125 million strong across your nation. The women and youth form the core of a winning strategy, but they want full participation. No longer women wings chairpersons, no longer campaign chairs, no longer the mobilizers. They will do that because this is the way that we are built. We want specific seats allocated for women that will be elected in 2023. We no longer just want to be foot soldiers or messengers. We are capable, we are able, and we are ready. APC must be cognizant of the newest societal platform, the new digital platforms that can make or break an election. A lot of the people in the older generation do not take cognizance of the fact that one simple video on social media can change something to the negative. I hope your strategy will be a very robust social media campaign talking about the issues, speaking to the heart of the people of Nigeria so that they come along with you in the process and hold their hopes and aspirations until the day of elections. The APC must put their boots on the ground. In our elections in 2017, we decided, since we were the underdogs going against the ruling party, we would change our strategy. We decided to go house to house, person to person, windows to windows, doors to doors, markets to markets, and people on the streets. You must put your boots on the streets so that the message resonates from the highest level to the lowest level. Those messages coming from the APC must be dreams in which the lives of our people, especially the majority, are changed and transformed in a very short time. The young people must be willing to believe that you are on their side and that you are desirous of transforming their lives. The leadership of the APC must please begin to consider strategic positions within the party framework at the highest level and elected positions, not just for women, but for also for young people who have been trained and are able to also be a part of the governance system of your country. It is my hope and prayer that over the next few months, as the political process continues, that Nigeria, APC, the big brother of ECOWAS, will be shining examples to the other nations in our region. And that the advocacy in which our leaders have championed over the years, that have been ratified by the heads of state and authority for the full inclusion of marginalized groupings in the governance space, will become a reality in 2022. I look forward to Nigeria setting the bar where it should be, where you will raise the political willpower to nominate, and with the subsequent approval of the party structure, allow women to be voted as governors, deputy governors, legislatures, and perhaps for the first time to have a female as a strategic partner as vice president of the greatest African democracy in our region. It is possible. By doing that, I believe you will get more than 100 million votes, because women across the spectrum will indeed vote for the APC as the new party with a new dynamism for the new future. Let us remember the words of Africa's greatest son, Madiba Nelson Mandela, who said, and I quote, "We must be honest and open about the power relationships between men and women. Each of us has a responsibility to help build a more enabling and supportive environment that puts the role of women in the center of every single thing that is being done." He also went on to say Strange things always seem impossible until it is done. But what is strange about a woman being in a position of leadership? And let me tell you a small story. My father, who spoke earlier, talked about the creation in God, and I wanted to expand it a little bit. It's become my most famous story in the Bible, and it's also in the Quran. If you go back and you read the beginning of how God created the heavens and the earth, he created man, and he said what? Everything was good. So what is that God saw? What did God see? To realize that there was something missing. He stopped everything, put man to sleep, and created woman as your partner, as your helpmate, as your progressive and visionary twin. How did that change over the years? How come we've moved from our position of being a partner and a twin to someone on the other side? As a female politician, I want to say to each of you in this hall and to the more than 125 million women across Nigeria, life will not give you what you deserve. It will give you what you put all of your energies into to bring to fruition. This choice as to how far the APC will take your resolutions rests in your hands. The women of APC must be clear as to what they really want and put it in a resolution, clearly deciding where they want to be, how they want to be given those positions, and make it a condition precedent for the full support of the women's agenda here in Nigeria. This final resolution will carry your aspirations, your dreams, and your hopes. I believe at the end, it will be given to the leadership of the APC, and I'm happy to have heard some of the governors talk about being he for she champions. I believe the proof will be in the pudding, that when this resolution comes to your table and the deliberations begin, that you will stand up and say, indeed, it is time. Women can become the arrowhead of this particular process if you include them, if you provide more equality, freedom to express and be a part, and if you decide that you will begin to break down the many barriers that hold us apart. I spoke to a very powerful woman yesterday who said, if Christians will just stick with our Christian values, and if the Muslims will stick with their Muslim values, and will take away all of the prejudices and the cultures that hold women back, we will be a long way forward in providing the peace and unity that we deserve. To the women of APC, this is your charge. Do not let yourselves down. To our leaders, to our fathers, our husbands and our brothers, it is time to shift the political landscape of your beloved nation. I pray that each of you will take the political high ground and ensure that this is done. Thankfully, you have current examples of leaders within your ranks at the level of the different governors that have done amazing work to open up the governance space and allow greater participation for women. However, those spaces that women occupy are normally second tier. What it means is that they are not in the driver's seat. Some of us that are across this hall, and I have met some brilliant, trained, capable women who could be considered, can be in the driver's seat to make sure Nigeria begins the new trajectory. Excellencies, our Honorable Chairman, our distinguished First Lady and Second Lady, members of the APC Women's Congress, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me close before I let my welcome become a little worn out. As long as outmodal ways of thinking prevent women from meaningfully contributing to society, progress will be slow. We can no longer afford to slow down the progress of a great nation like Nigeria. As I said, indeed, it is time. It is time for a bold and transformative agenda. Now is the time. Thank you so much for allowing me to add my voice to this convention. I wish you a successful deliberations. APC women!
I think that we can put our hands together again for the Vice President, Her Excellency Joel Taylor. Excellencies, Majesties, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and I think we can sit. That was an amazing one. Digitalized elections, boots on the ground for APC women, Nigeria to lead the way, and let's have more women in the picture. APC is a new party with new dynamism, and we can make it happen. Again, another round of applause for Her Excellency Joel Howard Taylor. And I'm sure, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will go immediately to the very next event, which is the panel conversation on elections. Panel 1. Can we please be upstanding as Her Excellency, the wife of the President, leaves the hall? And can we thank her for coming? With a round of applause, please. Can we put our hands together as Her Excellency, the wife of the President, takes her leave? We have with us His Excellency, the Honorable Minister for Labor and Employment, His Excellency, distinguished Senator, Dr. Chris Ngige with us. Can we please put our hands together for him? His Excellency, Senator Ngige. Also with us, we have our mother, Her Excellency, Ambassador Fatih Abubakar with us.
Thank you, Greg. Excellency, take some of this.
And before we go to the next panel, while Her Excellency is leaving, I guess we will take some recognitions. Special advisor to the President on the ease of doing business, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, is with us. Also, former APC women leader Hajiya Salamatu Baima Umar Eluma. We have with us also Hajiya Maimuna Momodu, former Commissioner for Women Affairs, Edo State. We also have Hajiya Zaliha Yusuf, former Special Assistant to the Governor of Adamawa State. Here with us from Rivers State, we have the former Rivers State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, also former Secretary to the State Government of Rivers State, Dame Aleru Chikukigam. We have with us Honorable Joba West, former Commissioner of Women Affairs, Rivers State. Also on the Rivers State delegation, Honorable Victoria Wobonyeche, former member, Rivers State House.
And also on the Rivers State entourage online, we have Her Excellency, the Nigerian High Commissioner to Jamaica, Honorable Maureen Tamina. Shiro's Honorable Maureen Tamina. Thank you.
We have with us Her Excellency, the wife of the Deputy Governor of Plateau State, Her Excellency, Mrs. Abigail Yoden. We also have with us Her Excellency, the wife of the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Her Excellency Nafisa Idris Wusa.
Barrister Ismail Ahmed, SSA to the President on social investment.
We have with us the Honorable Engineer Doris Ubo, former member House of Representatives and the Vice Chairman, Planning Committee of this occasion. We recognize you.
Kano State entourage, Kano State APC woman leader, Hajia Fatima Abdullahi Dalla. Hajia Dardada Mai Kanopichi, the State APC Treasurer, Honorable Hama Ali Aware, DG Can Invest Diaspora, Dr. Fauzia Puba Idris, Special Advisor on Health, Engineer Hadiza Ahmad Tukur, MD Kano Hydroelectric Commission, Hajia Sabua Salisu, Deputy Woman Leader, Hajia Husseina Umar, Hajia Hawa Marke, and Hajia Rabi Aliu Sahel. You're all welcome. Thank you very much. Kano State Entourage.
From Adamawa State, leading the pack, is Her Excellency Ambassador Fatih Bala Abubakar, our mother foremost, indeed, Nigerian politician. We also have with us from Adamawa State, the Senator Binta Masi Garba. We have with us the very distinguished Senator Grace Bent. We have with us the Honorable Patricia Yakubu, the Honorable Faith Bukuma, Mrs. Sarah Wafari, and the Honorable Hawa Jalo Koma.
And we also understand that we have over 60 wives of senators and members of the House of Representatives here present today.
Wow.
60, such a critical cluster. You are welcome. Hajia Memuna Momodu, former Commissioner for Women Affairs in Edo State. Hajia Saliha Yusuf, former Special Assistant to the Governor of Adamawa State.
Very distinguished personalities with us here. All the way from Lagos State, we have with us the Honorable Commissioner Wapa, Honorable Bolaji Dada. We have the Honorable Commissioner for Education. We have the Honorable Commissioner for Establishment. We have the Special Advisor Civic Engagement. We have the former Commissioner Education. We have the Special Advisor Housing. We have a member of the House of Assembly.
And of course, our APC woman leader, Honorable Jumoke Okoya Thomas.
Also with us, we have Saliu Mustafa, the Turuking Ilorin.
Haji Binta Mwazu, member of the NYSC Governing Board, Dr. Betty Nadi, stakeholder, Barrister Constant Marshall Harry, board member NNPC, Barrister Aisha Ghana, chairman of the Niger State Law Reform Commission, and Zubairu Garba, Commissioner, Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs, Borno State.
We have with us the very distinguished, the Honorable Mrs. Elizabeth Ativia, former Speaker, Edo State House of Assembly. You're welcome, Madam.
Her Excellency, Chief Mrs. Rachel Ogonaya Umahi, wife of Governor of Ebonyi State, represented here by the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs, Ebonyi State, Princess Chinwe Oka, and also from Ebonyi, from Adamawa State, Ambassador Fatih Abubakar, leader APC, Adamawa State, Senator Ken Mmani. Oh, we heard His Excellency already upstage. His Excellency, the former Senate President, and His Excellency Martanko Almakura, distinguished Senator. Thank you.
And yes, some of the wives of the senators who are present, we have Hajia Sadatsu Sani Musa, Hajia Maimunat Oloregbe, Temitope Adeola, Patricia Mpige, Honorable Aminu Suleiman Kwari, Hajia Rekiat Hosseini, Hajia Habibat Basiru, Sadia Ibrahim, Hadeja, and Hajia Ndume. You're all welcome, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there we have it. We're supposed to go to the we'll be going next to the panel discussion on political participation. Thank you. This panel is going to be moderated by the Honorable Ibn Semenitari, former acting MD NDDC, former Commissioner of Information and Communications in Rivers State. Today she is here, a full force representation, and right here handling all the protocol upstage Honorable Ibim Semenitari, my co-MC. Today, the panel discussion is on political participation. It's time to represent getting women elected into office. I know we have with us Right Honorable Olubumi Patricia Ette, former Speaker, first female Speaker, House of Representatives, in fact the first female Speaker on the African continent. Honorable Nkiruka Onyejocha, a Deputy Chief Whip, House of Representatives. Her Excellency Oluroti Adepele, the former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Distinguished Senator Adamawa Central Adamawa, Distinguished Senator Aishatu Dahiru, and the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Plateau State, as well as Aishatu Jibril Duku, our Honorable for Gombe State, representing Duku, Nafada Federal Constituency. Well, once we have the interaction and space ready, we shall be taking that panel discussion. Once again, appreciating all of the presence of the amazing personalities. Her Excellency, the Vice President of Liberia here with her team, the diplomatic force, the Liberian consul, and all of the diplomatic presence. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. We have launched the Progressive Women Academy app, and this app is an app that will train 20 million women in 2 years. Imagine that. Imagine what we can achieve and who we can raise as achievers. And now, inviting the panel, we're going to request respectfully that we all be seated, inviting once again Honorable Dame Ibim Semenitari, former acting MD, NDDC, former Commissioner, Information and Communications, as our distinguished moderator for this session. Please, Honorable Dame Ibim Semenitari, inviting up your panelists, over to you.
Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have this panel on political participation. It is time to represent getting women elected into office. And if we can just quickly get ourselves together, I really would say this is literally the reason we're here, getting more women represented. And for this panel discussion, please join me and make welcome the Right Honorable Olubumi Patricia Ette, former Speaker, House of Representatives. Can protocol please help me bring up Her Excellency the Right Honorable Olubumi Patricia Ette. You're welcome, ma'am. Can we please put our hands together as we recognize one of our own?
APC women, yes we can. Please, can we have the DGs and the heads of agencies, the ministers, fill up the front seat? Let us go into the real business, please. Can we sit down? Let's go into the real business of the day. Please, APC women, please sit down. State women leaders, please get your delegates to sit down. Can we move and fill up the empty seats, please? And please, can committee members take their seats from the front floor? Please, committee members, stop standing in front. Please, committee members, stop standing in front. Thank you.
Thank you, National Women Leader. Can we have joining us up here the Honorable Nkiruka Onyejocha, Deputy Chief Whip, House of Representatives. She's here already. Also joining us on stage, Her Excellency Oluronti Adebule, former governor, Lagos State. Is she here? Her Excellency. Do we also have with us Her Excellency, the very distinguished Senator Aishatu Dairu, Adamawa Central, the senator representing Adamawa Central, the Senator Aishatu Dahiru. Is she here? Madam, can you join us on stage, please? Also with us today, Her Excellency, the very distinguished Aishatu Jibril Duku, representing Duku Nafada Federal Constituency. Can she join us on stage, please? Her Excellency, the Honorable Aishatu Jibril Duku, representing Duku Nafada Federal Constituency. Her Excellency Oluronti Adebule, is she joining us on stage? You're welcome, ma'am. And we'll go straight to the panel conversation. Okay, also to join us, we're taking two panels because of time. So to join us, please make welcome Her Excellency, distinguished Sharon Ikpazu, the Honorable Minister of State for Environment. Please put your hands together for Her Excellency, the very distinguished Sharon Ikpazu. Please distinguish Sharon Ikpazu, please. Also to join us, Her Excellency Titilayo Laoye Tomori, the former Deputy Governor of Osun State. Please join us on stage. This is for the panel, Embracing Diversity and Empowering the Next Female Generation. Your Excellencies, please make welcome a very distinguished politician of note, the distinguished Senator Florence Ita Giwa. Ma'am, please join us on stage. The very distinguished Florence Ita Giwa, please, ma'am, join us on stage. Would be so nice if we could keep that applause going as I welcome the very respected Dr. Hajo Sani, former minister, Nigeria's ambassador to UNESCO, to join us on stage. Her Excellency Dr. Hajo Sani, Nigeria's representative to UNESCO. Is Dr. Sani here? I thought I saw her. Dr. Hajo Sani, please, to join us on stage. Can I also request very quickly that we have the Honorable Commissioner of Agriculture, Yobe State, the Honorable Dr. Mrs. Meru Ahmad Amshi, MFR. Please join us on stage. The Honorable Commissioner, the Dr. Mrs. Meru Ahmed Amshi, MFR. Also to join us on this panel, the very distinguished Senator Binta Masi Garba. The very distinguished Senator the very distinguished Senator Basi Binta. We have, of course, the Honorable Minister for Women Affairs, the distinguished Dame Dr. Pauline Tano. Her Excellency, can we welcome her on stage as well? We're compressing all three panels. Her Excellency Dame Pauline Tano to join us on stage. Can we have Her Excellency Dame Pauline Tano to join us on stage, please? Let's also have to join us the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, the very distinguished Honorable Minister Sadia Umar Farouk. The very distinguished Honorable Minister Sadia Umar Farouk, the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. Thank you very much, Excellencies. We're compressing three panels. We have 3 panels, so we're going to need extra mics for 2 people. We need extra mics for 2 people. All right. Great Nigerian women. Great Nigerian women. Great Nigerian women. Greatest Nigerian women. Great Nigerian women. APC. 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 No woman. No woman. No woman. Her Excellency, the distinguished Senator Florence Itagiwa has just joined us. You're welcome, ma'am. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the real work, the real reason we're here is what we're about to do. We have all of these very, very respected mothers, sisters, women seated to have a conversation. We will be talking about 3 issues. The first is a conversation around women's participation and representation. We've got a situation where we have women making up less than 10% of the Senate and less than 10% of the House of Representatives. 0%, there's no woman who's a governor, and less than 5% of deputy governors. It's not a pretty picture. And we're going to be talking to these women who have been through this route to speak to us about what the problem really is. We're also going to talk about embracing diversity and empowering the next generation of women. Many of us here are on our way out. And we need to have a next generation of girls and women who are strong enough to take over from where we stopped. So we'll have that conversation. We also will have a conversation about finding our voice. How are we going to be defining women in the next generation? We're going to try to have these 3 conversations all at once. I'm going to invite Her Excellency, the Minister for Women Affairs, to throw the first salvo. And I invite her because this is the conversation she has always had. How do we get more women involved? So, Your Excellency, Dame Pauline Thailand, can you speak to us very briefly on the matter of our voice? Emerge and lead our voice. How do we define the next generation of women? How are they going to emerge? How are they going to lead? Your Excellency, your opening comments. And you can use the mic there, I think, so we don't make you walk up and down.
Your Excellencies, I acknowledge all our distinguished female senators, distinguished members of the legislators, members of the panel here, our first ladies in all the various states. We acknowledge in a very special way our mother, the mother of the nation, the wife of the president that has been here with us and left a very powerful message on behalf of Nigerian women. We also listened to the powerful statement from the national Vice President of Liberia and our national chairman of the APC. It is very clear that any nation that neglects its women has no future. Looking at this whole, we have women from all professions, from all walks of life, from all the 36 states, well represented here. We have a responsibility to nurture and mentor the future leaders. Each of us that are occupying strategic positions, our former elected members, we have former senators here, Senator Itagiwa and Senator Binta Masi is here. We have our first female elected speaker. We have our first, not first anyway, we have 2 female deputy governors here from Kaduna and Oshun. We are blessed with great women in Nigeria, and all of us that are occupying these positions, we have a responsibility to mentor and nurture the young ones that will take our place. Without mentoring, there will be no future for our young leaders. So mentoring is very, very important, and that's why I commend the national women leader of our great party for the first time for organizing this, the first National Progressive Women's Conference, where today we launched the Women Academy. This Women Academy is a very clear platform where we will mentor and nurture future political women leaders. We all have a responsibility, because a country without a future has no future, and women are the future hope and the only hope of our party and the country at large. I therefore charge all women who are blessed and who are occupying strategic positions to remember to mentor and nurture. And that's why mentoring is key on my agenda in the Ministry of Women Affairs. We encourage mentoring the young ones and supporting them to ensure they fulfill their dreams. So mentoring is key. I call on all of you, and I know that the former ministers of Women Affairs, we have Dr. Hajasani, who is now representing us at UNESCO. We have wives of governors, whom I charge them to be the godmothers in our state. Wives of governors have strategic roles to play, just as our First Lady. As mothers in the states, they have